best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. The new Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse trailer dropped. Deeper into the Spider-Verse, further? I'm not sure. Anyway, a couple of you wrote in about it, and I'm going to read two mails instead of one, so it's a twofer, as they say. So first mail says, Dear Quentin Perchentino. Quentin Tarantino's a absolute prick. You know, I do like his movies, but oh my goodness. Anyway, it's a story for another time. I just watched the new trailer for Spider-Man Across the Universe, and I blew up my eyeballs. The visual languages, plural, in the film are beautiful. I say languages because there are multiple styles in this film. The people working on this film are really putting their all into it. The movie looks fresh and new. It looks exciting and fun. I guess my question is, why doesn't Marvel Comics look and feel like this? The Miles Morales comic seems so boring by comparison, and if I have to read another multiverse story, Spider-Man or Avengers story, I'm with you, by the way. I think the style is different, and I think one of the smartest things you can do with Miles Morales to really stand it apart, you know, in addition to the storyline idea I gave a bit ago, is just put out a comic in that art style. Go for it. Why not? You know, some of the biggest artists, Frank Miller and Art Adams and Walt Simonson, and some of these artists, the Michael Mignola look really different when they came out, and then they of course became very popular. So why not have a style like that? So I'm with you. If you're sick of the multiverse stuff, I got bad news for you in this Spider-Man movie. But anyway, we'll continue. You'll jump off the roof. Okay, I'll jump off the roof of my house head first regarding the multiverse. But goddamn, I want to see this movie with characters and tropes I don't really care about. Why can't Marvel Comics in 2023 accomplish this? I don't know if this stopped what we're talking about. It's interesting. Love the channel. And then, use a little screenshot of how fresh and exciting it looks. It does. I do like that they're playing with the style. I like that they're doing something new. Do I want every movie to be in this style? No. I don't. Or a majority of them? No. Or maybe, do I want two of them? Not really. I'm fine for it being this movie, the sequel, whatever. But this line of movies in this style, I think is great. It's cool. The Bad Guys anime movie was had a similar style going on. It didn't work for it, in my opinion. It didn't. It was okay, but it looked off. But for the Spider-Man movie, it fits really, really nicely, and I think that style looks good, and they should absolutely replicate that in the comics. But it wouldn't be this channel if we didn't have a completely opposite opinion. So let's get into that second mail. It says, Perch, hey there. The new Spider-Verse 2 trailer has dropped. While the comments seem to be very positive, I don't like how this story is being made. I don't like how this story is being done. Once again, there's the insistence that Miles Morales has to be called Spider-Man. I still think the absolute smartest thing to do would be to have him go no identity. I truly imagine all the cool stuff you could do. And how badass would it be if Miles is like, yeah, this is my name. This is my address. Come get me. Come get me, assholes. Come get me. I don't know. There's some good storylines. People said, yeah, but then his family would be hunted and killed. That's the comic trope. I agree. That's what they always go with. But is it true? Again, in a world where, you have, the Avengers, you have Resurrection via Krakoa, you have all this. I mean, is this really a problem like we think? I don't think you casually just say, screw it, let the family die. But, you've got Stark technology. You've got, you've got trips anywhere in the multiverse. You have literal resurrection. I don't know. I say go with it. Let's give it a try. Why not do something new? Anyway, back to the mail. I like the question I think this movie is asking. Can Spider-Man exist without a great sacrifice? Does Uncle Ben have to die for each version of Spider-Man? I like how Miles fights against this. I personally don't like how every other Spider-Man is hunting down Miles just because Miles is trying to exist without the great sacrifice. I'm not sure that's what's going on in the movie, but we'll keep going. The trailer seems to present that every other spider being accepts that Uncle Ben must pass away. I don't like how one of the Spider-Men seems to be the villain. That's the Spider-Man 2099, the Isaac Spider-Man. Anyway, I also don't like how every other spider being hunts down Miles without questioning why they're doing it. Instead of having unique characters, every other spider being has now been reduced to a drone. For what it's shown in the trailer, this attempt to make Miles Morales the greatest Spider Person has ruined the Spider-Man IP. We're seeing a lot of different Spider beings, but they just look like eye candy to get kids wanting to buy the toys. All right. So as I read them both, the two males are not completely different. So one, I think we could agree. I think the style looks cool. Now, it's not going to be for everyone. There definitely will be somebody in the comments that says style looks like dog shit, but it's new and unique. And damn it, a little bit of new and uniqueness would be a pretty good thing in comics. The multiversal stuff, I mean, it's fun to watch a trailer with all the, Spider Horse and all these other spider characters. But I would happily trade that and never deal with any of this ever again to have a comic universe with some real stakes and just good, solid adventures where there wasn't a reset version of an alternate version of a character. It's not that it's been run into the ground. It's that they've got a giant cavern at this point, and they're going deeper. I hate it. I hate it so much. I think, here's my take on the trailer, or at least what the trailer is trying to convey. I think that there's a kind of a major multiversal problem, and seems to be the Spot. I don't know if the Spot is just a temporary villain or a bigger villain or whatever, but there seems to be a big multiversal problem. Who knows? The entire universe is at stake. Everything is going to die, and they need Miles to be with them to help stop this threat. But Miles learns that the villain, maybe it's a Spot, I don't know, is targeting his family. And so Miles is like, no, I have to go protect my family. Family means more to me. I'm going to go do that. And the other Spider-Man are like, no, if you do that, then we can't do the thing. The prophecy of elders won't come, whatever. And so it's not that, every Spider-Man has to have a Uncle Ben dying. It's that the Spider-Man are saying, basically the needs of the many are better than the needs of the one. And for all of us, we had a great sacrifice. We had something that happened in our lives that helped made us who we are. And so they're trying to basically say, you can't put, one person in front of your responsibility. It's kind of that deeper touch into great power comes great responsibility. That's what I think. I don't think it's a literal, like, in order to be the spider totem, one of your relatives must die. I don't think that. I think that's what's going on. I think you've got whatever reason they've decided Spider-Man 2099 is going to be the more militant, like, no, we have to stick to the prophecy. You must stay here, Miles. And so that's the game. And it clearly looks like Spider-Gwen and, Peter Parker, mentor with Mayday Parker, are going to help Miles flee or whatever, maybe break the, let's fight against the prophecy. That's what I think. And that story is been told a billion times. That's, in fact, kind of like the multiverse. The other trope is the heroes are mistaken about a prophecy of some kind, and they're about to do something, mildly horrific because they need to stick to, what the future has been foretold. And one young, brave hero has to stand up and say, nah, F tradition. I'm my own person. That's what I think we're getting. And which is a, kind of standard kid movie kind of deal. So that's what I think's there. I'm seeing a lot of takes on Spider-Man. I mean, at the end of the day, you can kind of compartmentalize it, as I said. Looks great. Multiverse, no thank you. And then, how the story will be. The story is going to be, something that's a little bit younger, aimed for kids. Just like the first Spider-Man movie was. I mean, at the end of the day, my kids liked it. They enjoyed it. But it was very much a pretty simple story. Kid gets powers, hides from parents. Friends come to help stop danger while kid accepts his new powers. That was it. And this one is, kid who is struggling with family. That's why they had the scene in the very beginning where the teacher is like, your son is lying to you. Kid who's struggling with the secret identity of his family, is thrust into a situation where his family's in jeopardy, and he's willing to risk it all for the family who also mistrusts him a little bit. Sure. I think the point that was made in the first mail of why can't you do this in the comics? Yeah, please do it. Like, yeah, this is where you're leaving obvious money on the table. I think Miles Morales, these Spider-Verse movies, and I saw it with the first movie. they appeal to kids, and kids came into the shop. Parents like, hey, do you have any of that Miles stuff? Because the character looks cool, and in fact, in many ways, it's a better advertisement for a comic shop because the movie looks like comics. They have these panels, and it's a far closer relation to comics. You can't watch that movie and not go, oh yeah, there's comics. Whereas with some of the MCU films, it's like, this would be just kind of, they're heroes, but they're science fiction-y stuff. I don't know. But in Miles, it's definitely an ad for the comics. So when people come into a comic shop and the comics look nothing like what's going on there, not in terms of story, appearance of characters, art style, I mean, hell, it wasn't long after the movie. It was about a year, 2 years. Anyway, it wasn't too long after. It's like, let's change his costume around. Be just weird ass. What do you kind of like? What are you doing? Like that costume in the movie looked, dynamic, iconic. I mean, it was just it fit. You saw merchandise of that shit everywhere. It's like, no, let's give him baggy sweatshirt. That'll be what we'll do. Like, what are you doing, Marvel? Anyway, what did you think of the Spider-Man trailer? Did you like it? Was it visually cool? Story good? What's your prediction for what's going to happen? And I'll throw one more question out at you. Is part of the way forward, and I was thinking about this for DC, because Marvel already baked with their movie plans and everything else, but DC's doing the big reset. Here's a crazy idea. Maybe don't try and do a shared universe, or don't try and be Marvel light. I watched the Blue Beetle trailer, and it's like, it could have been a Marvel movie, for sure. It's like, kid wanders in, gets something, like, family hijinks. Oh no, it's so funny. Now he's in space. Oh crap, he's down in the water. And it's like, this is the same tone we've seen from tons of movies. Again, you could just throw the Marvel logo out there, everybody would buy it. Like, yeah, that's Marvel style right there. Why don't what if DC took a different approach and went into the Spider-Verse approach, where it's like, you know what, we're gonna pick 6 characters, maybe 6 Justice League characters, I don't know, and we're gonna make movies that are so distinctive, so visually unique and distinctive, that they stand alone. I would argue, Man of Steel wasn't my favorite film, but it was visually very distinctive. Wonder Woman looked very, very visually unique. I think it started to fall apart when they put these movies together. I mean, they did the, head to the Justice League, and in many cases, with the Christopher Nolan Batman films, then the Zack Snyder Superman film, the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, you had very distinct, very unique looking movies. You don't need to rush to say, but this is a shared universe. They're all going to meet up. They're going to hang out. I don't think the audience is as horny for seeing these characters all, band together and have an adventure as we think. I'm sure comic book audiences are, because, as comic readers, we like that kind of stuff. But if people going to watch a $1 billion movie, just make it perfect on its own. Make it visually amazing as its own film. You don't need to, I think this scramble for shared universe screws it all up. It's, I've been talking about that a lot lately. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course, and thanks for listening.